magazine, and we're here with Mark Tulley and Alex Rayson down at Swalwell ABC, and it's the calm before the storm, isn't it? You've had your break, end of season, you've had a couple of weeks off, and it all starts now, and it's started again for the new season. So where do we go first? Well, let's have a look at last season, because you two both got some awards in terms of achievements from the club from last season. You were best boxer and you were best technical boxer within the seniors, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
So, well, let's cover last season. If we start with Alex, how did last season go for you, if you want to sum it up in one word? No, I'm only joking. In terms of last season, you were awarded best technical boxer. In terms of when the season started to when the season ended, in terms of how you expected it to go, to how it turned out, how did it go for you last year?
Well, obviously, I got the award of best technical boxer, and I finished the season on a high, you know.
Yeah.
It's nice to be recognised amongst my gym mates, and especially two people I've got a lot of respect for, which is obviously Clauzel and Giuseppe Pavona, both my trainers. The season, obviously, I got a couple of wins, didn't get us wrong. There's always room for improvement. I would have liked to be better, obviously, but then that's a little incentive for next season, you know.
That's why
obviously,
you keep putting the work in, isn't
that's why it is. That's why you train hard, you know, and it's little incentives, and there's always room for improvement in this sport. So I strive to be successful at them. Just put the gloves on for a reason. I want to do well in this sport, you know. So obviously, I'm always looking at progressing. I'm always looking at doing well, and these trophies are a little incentive to do that, you know. So it's all good. It's all good.
And best boxer of the year for the seniors?
Aye.
Same question to yourself there, Mark, in terms of when the season started, where your expectations were, and obviously how the season ended. Were your expectations met? Did it go the way you expected it to?
Well, they were met, I would say, but I could have done better. Few fights I should have won where I didn't really win. But after the last interview, I was meant to go the Townway derby, which didn't come off. But then I fought down Middlesbrough. I got beat. I got a rematch straight away 2 weeks later, and I beat the kid in the rematch at North Shields, and then I went and beat the kid in Jarrah, stopped the kid in the first run, looked good. That was excellent. And then the last one, I beat myself more than anyone else. I put the kid doing the first run, and then I just blew the steam. But the season, I think one of the lessons that you need to learn, I've learned a lot of lessons out of it. The defeats, I've learned more out of the defeats. Do you know what I mean? And when training, when Alex, you know what I mean, we're both. When you feel doing, there's the lads always say to pick you back up, get you back to motivate yourself. You know what I mean? It's vice versa. It's vice versa. I took good, well knitted. You know what I mean? Good, like a family gym, really. You know what I mean? Everyone's good with each other. You know, helps each other along.
So, in terms of helping each other along, what are the aims and goals? You've obviously had some achievements last season. What are the goals and achievements for this season? Again, Alex.
We're obviously touching on the note that from the boxing from a mental aspect, like it's like Mark says, when you're up, you're up, and when you're down, and obviously this is why I like these interviews, and this is why it's good how you see boxers. A lot of people see boxers in the ring, but they don't see what goes on behind the ropes. A lot of training goes into it. You go through a lot of mentally, you know, there's making weight, everything, you know. So it's obviously, like I say, it's a big mental challenge, and you learn a lot, and this is why these interviews are good from that aspect. But in terms of the goals for this season, obviously myself and Mark, we're going in the championships, you know, and we want to win them, you know, and that'll open the doors to a lot of things. So thinking big, you know, like you say, I wouldn't just be lacing the gloves up for any reason. I always think big in life, and I want to do well in this sport. So onwards and upwards, you know.
So in terms of your ambitions won't end at the end of this season.
No.
So what would you see your ambitions are for this season?
Well, I'd say realistic this season. Obviously, you've got the championships, with the Northern Championships. Obviously, I'd like to win them to be able to progress in the championships for the full country. Get a couple more fights under my belt, because although I have had a few fights, I'm still relatively classed as a novice, because I've had under 10 fights. So I like to get a few more fights under my belt. Like I said before, you're always learning in the sport, you know. So you find out a lot about yourself. Obviously, everyone knows how physically demanding it is, but you find out a lot about yourself mentally as well. So I'd like to go through these challenges, test myself, see how far I can go, and continue to learn. But more importantly, obviously, I've got a lot of faith in my abilities, and a lot of my gym mates and my trainers and people in and around the gym have got it as well. So it's nice to know, and I'd like to get that in the concrete evidence really, and start doing well for myself, you know. So,
well, it's one of those things. It's having confidence in yourself is one thing. Sometimes people have blind confidence, but again, when it's backed up by your gym mates who are voting for you in terms of the things that you've done and the achievements that you've made, it sort of reaffirms that, doesn't it?
It's nice to know as well. Like you say, obviously people's opinions matter, but when when people are involved in the sport themselves, they obviously know what you go through, you know. So for people to recognise that, it means a lot. I'm not going to lie, you know. So
well, the thing is, everybody's going through tough training, tough times, and things like that.
No one sees what we do in the gym now. I mean, no one sees the part where we're coming here 5 times a week. We're doing the road work when it doesn't matter what the weather's like. You've still got to get out there and do the road work. All that put in. No one sees that. They see the 3 rounds in the ring, and people think, oh, it's easy. Anyone can do it. It's not easy. Like, it's the hard work behind closed doors. That's where all the work's done. You know what I mean?
It's like any profession. You see a musician get up on stage and they play everything through perfectly, but it doesn't show you the hundreds or thousands of hours of practice they've learned to play the instrument or singing each song or whatever like that. And it's just you just see that final. And again, most people don't look at the build-up or the preparation. They just think of the final product at the end of it. Now, obviously, one of the things that we're doing with Peep magazine this year is we're going to be doing like a road show going around the amateur club. So we'll be doing a lot more in-depth footage, and we'll be coming here to Swalwell ABC, obviously with connections with Mark as well. So we'll be coming down. So we'll be getting a bit more up close and personal with you guys. But like you say, I think it'll be good to show people just what you go through.
Of course it is.
You might even drag me into some of the training.
I'll definitely spawn me next time. Listen, like I've said all
That's why he keeps winning. He takes on people like me.
What's your weight? You're sizing up as soon as you
How many fights you had, Phil? How many fights you had? No, listen, like I say,
same as I've lost.
On a serious note, though, like I say, obviously, boxing, like what Mark says, you see the fights, you didn't see what a boxer goes through mentally and physically. So it's good from the fans' point of view to get a perspective of the person and the individual, and maybe talk about his little camp and give him little incentives into what he does and how and the toughness which is involved in it. So it's and as well with amateur boxing doesn't get the recognition which it deserves, to tell you the truth. So these little press interviews and all the rest of it, it can only do well for the sport, you know.
Well, I think the 2012 Olympics really helped bring it did, but that needs to be built on. And I think the fact that certainly with the seniors in the amateurs now not having the head guards on and the scoring systems coming more in line with what the armchair boxing fan understands.
So if I could.
Yeah, well, exactly. But it's move
the head.
Exactly. Go for the body.
Double it up.
He's head hunting.
But obviously it's all good, isn't it? And like you say, obviously, I mean, it's all tongue-in-cheek and it's all fun and games, but if it raises the profile of the amateur sport in general, and slowly but surely we're making grounds, and hopefully long may it continue, to tell you the truth. So.
Well, it's one of the things that we are looking to do. We are going to do a road show, but we are also wanting to go a bit more in-depth into the build-up. So again, it's not just showing one training session. It's not just one interview before a fight. It's the entire build-up towards maybe a show or things like that. So maybe you've just talked yourself into a little feature that we can do there, Alex. So maybe that's something we can do there, Cliff. But we'll talk about more of that as we go along there.
That's what I want to tell you.
I want to tell you we Derby.
I wanted one last season, but it never come off, you know what I mean? And the Road Warriors, that's what I was called last season, wasn't it? The Road Warrior, travel anywhere.
I'll tell you what, let's see if we can bring Mr. Clauzel in just for a second here. He's just loitering off camera here. Just thinks he can get away with it all because he looks like Sergio Aguero with his haircut.
Let's get the main man in there. The camera's itching to see him.
I didn't get a word in there, by the way.
I know, don't worry.
Has he reeled off all his names?
Yeah. He hasn't even reeled off.
This is his victory dance.
We're going to get a victory dance. This is live TV.
This is the first for Peep magazine, right? This is a YouTube phenomenon. Going to start off, I'm telling you. The shotgun. Boosh, boosh, boosh. That's the victory dance, Phil. That's the new Gangnam style. Hey, you've heard it, yeah.
Drop it in his class.
That is his victory dance.
That is a victory dance. I'll have the whole
audience on the DVDs up because it is his victory dance.
I've even done shotgun feints as well. You know, it's not recommended, like, but
shotgun. I've done shotgun with beer, but that's about it with me.
If it was a shotgun and a jab in the ring, I'm like, stop doing it, mate. You're gonna get clipped.
The judges didn't like it.
Time we're Derby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to get the Tynemere Derby off. I mean, it was something I wanted to do last season, but it just venues, you know, couldn't do it. So I've spoke to a few venues now. I have to get the dates in with the amateur lot now. Get those in. I've spoken to a couple of venues and they said, yeah, you can have those dates. But the problem being is when you're doing a more sort of glamorous one like that, with this, you know, they want the bigger venues want the deposit. We don't want to put a couple of grand down on a deposit and then not be able to get the date for it, because then we're, you know, the club's a couple of grand out of pocket. And to be fair, these are not for profit. These you know, a lot of people don't realise that. This club's at the moment, it's all subsidised through my own pocket. So what we don't want to be doing is chucking another couple of grand away.
Exactly.
And going, oh yeah, you know, we've just lost that now because that's not the way the club's going to end up closing. If that was it. So what we've got at the moment is I provisionally spoke to the Winleyton Hall Golf Hall and asked for 4 dates for 4 shows. They've said we can have them. I'm going to send the check in and put the 4 dates in. And just if they get approved, they get approved. If they don't, they said they're willing to work with us. Those ones are open club shows. So, you know, to sit down and do the dinner one, I'm speaking to a couple of venues, but again, I just can't get a date pinned down with them. I said, look, I need this date pinned down. And they said, we've got this. And that's what I want to do with Tynemere Derby for. And there's absolutely loads of interest in that. You know, spoke over
that's something that we can actually get involved in.
Yeah, well,
not just showing the time bomb, but time bomb. That's I said time bomb. You see, but we can show both sides. We can do the build up to the show, and that would be a really good advert for amateur boxing, not just within the region, but as a whole.
Well, Tony Austin, Lampton Street. I mean, they're dead key. I mean, last season we were up and down the country, and everywhere we saw went up and down, they were there. And there was very few times that they weren't travelling down the road. And we weren't there travelling and boxing as well. So it's a discussion that we've had with Tony and said, yeah, they'd love to get involved, and you know, they would head up that team and we would pick this team from here. And I just think it's something that add a little bit of, like we say, we touched on it last year, something that add a little bit of a difference.
But it's a friendly rivalry.
I
mean, I know it's fighting, but it's not. You know, I think the North East as a whole. You know, when you get like a Newcastle boxer against a Sunderland boxer, you'll get the football element. The fans will come into it. Yeah. But in terms of as a region, I just think the fans support local boxers as a region generally.
Well, I think people will initially when you mention, you know, Tynemere Derby, the first thing that comes to hand to the head is football, isn't it? Newcastle Sunderland. But to us, to be honest with you, football, I've never watched it for the last 10 years. I don't care about it, and I don't mean that disrespectful.
But it's the best league in the world, Mark. Come on, I mean. Have you not heard Thierry?
You know, but in all fairness, it's not my sport. I'm not personally interested. You know, that's my brother's sport. He loves that, and you know.
So the Aguero haircut is just coincidental,
is it?
Coincidental. All right.
It just grew and it went like that. You know. I woke up. I put a bit of gel on. I thought that looks alright. No, but all serious now, and you know, it is something that I think, you know, we really do need, and I think that when we do this one, the first annual one. So no nicking me ideas. If you watch this video, don't nick this idea, because it's mine. Right?
Exactly. Time bomb's coming to you.
The time bomb.
One of these 4 dates that I'm putting in, it will be on, because I will get a venue secure. I know they're saying, well, we can't. I will on one of the 4 dates. I'm just going to use, and I will find somewhere to do it. And it'll be a nice sporting sort of black tie dinner event.
So it's learning from last year in terms of having the contingencies there ready. So if one doesn't come out, you've got the others to fall back on.
Well, that was it as well. And you know, last year I think there was a few niggles and there was a few injuries, and there was, you know, there wasn't. I don't know. There wasn't some of the lads. There wasn't a commitment. Was there? Some of them were like a half a season. Some were quarter of a season, 2 or 3 fights. And I said, look, if we haven't got consistency, then I'm not going to bother.
You can't put a show together on that.
I mean, we could and just put 3 or 4 of our own lads on. But to be fair, if they're fighting the time wage, I want them all on. And I want as many on as I can get on that show. And you know, there's more than enough lads in the North East. And I'll tell you what, people will be lining up to get on that. I'm sure they will, because we're all going to want to win. Tyneside and Wayside, everyone's going to want to bring that trophy home, and we're getting this pretty special trophy / belt made for it as well. I've already been down and priced all that up, and design work that have come back with looks absolutely phenomenal. So whoever keeps that, and it's got a nice plaque on the front, and it's going to say annual Tynemere Derby, and it's literally going to say, well, if it's this year, it's going to be say winners 2015, either Tyneside or Wayside. They're going to hold that for that year, and it's going to come back the next year. And believe me, I want Tyneside on that every year.
You know, until you move down to Sunderland.
No, I'm not. I'll get lynched.
Oh, no. So, that's it. I think I should ask Mark Tulley another question because Alex just took all
word,
your
camera,
airtime, you know what I mean?
It's not my fault the camera loves us, you know what I mean?
He took the pressure.
I just give what the fans want, fair, you know.
Fans at least just give that to him now.
New autographs.
Can we have another shotgun, please? Go on. You've seen it here first.
Fans, you know who we are. For the fans.
On that bombshell, as Alan Partridge used to say, I think we'll call this one a day. But just to let you know that the live magazine, peepmagazine.co.uk, latest magazine, is now available online. Check it out. There's some mentions in there for the North East amateur scene, and we'll be coming to most of the North East clubs on the amateur scene over the next year or so. So watch out for that. Bye bye for now.
Roll the dice and that, get on! Roll the dice and that, get on! Roll a double, cameras here. With the camera light. Right away. Feed the chickens. Now feed the chicken there. Whoa, 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 whoa! Yes! Are they a grip? Yeah, and the crisscross spin in the shotgun, man, I saw it. Boom, 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 boom! Yeah! That's from the fans!